Last night, Chris Carter put on a show at Miller Park. The former Athletic hit 2 big flies to deep center and ended up with 5 RBIs on the night. The A's made it interesting in the late innings as they rallied for 4 runs behind the bat of Billy Butler, who broke up the no-hitter in the 7th. But unfortunately, the A's let the tying run 90 feet away, and the green and gold dropped their 4th straight game. Tonight, Jesse Hahn needs to regain his winning ways as he is coming off a disappointing start in Houston. It's the A's and the Brewers, and it's coming up next. It is another cool night here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. The roof just closed, so it'll be nice inside. The A's trying to get a win. There's the battery mates Jesse Hahn and Stephen Vogt. They'll talk a little strategy, and then they will get ready to go for tonight's game. Second of the 2-game series. It's the Oakland A's and the Milwaukee Brewers coming up on CSN California. Hey again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. So you saw Jesse Hahn. His last start was Friday in Houston. It was not a good one, Ray. He only threw 38 pitches, so if nothing else, he'll be fresh tonight. But you know what? I think he learned something from that start, and you hope he did as a young pitcher, because quite frankly, it was just a little bit of a disaster.
And let's hope he's not too strong throwing just 38 pitches. But Kuiper, if you look at his first 4 starts since coming up, all 4 he was in double figures and ground ball outs. He got away from that in his last start in Houston. He threw a lot of fastballs. He walked a couple of batters. Everything was straight. It was elevated. And as a result, he didn't last out of the first inning. So he needs to do what he's capable of doing. And really, for a sinker ball pitcher, you don't want to be too strong. He needs to keep the ball down, try to get ground balls, make his infield do the work.
It was all about Chris Carter last night. He drove in all 5 runs for the Brewers with a couple of home runs. We're still trying to figure out how he hit the second home run. The pitch was about 2 feet outside, but he is so strong.
It's amazing. He talked about how great it was to start in the A's organization, but he also likes to do well against his former club. He did it last night. He did as a member of the Astros. Last night, all 5 runs driven in, 2 home runs, straightaway center. The first one, yeah, first pitch fastball. This one, though, fastball supposed to be inside, ended up outside. It went straightaway center as well. 5 RBI last night by Chris Carter, the powerful one. As we talked about, if you could stand the strikeouts, you're going to get the home run ball. He's going to drive in a lot of runs. He's having a great season for the Milwaukee Brewers.
All right, so with Jesse Hahn on the hill tonight, the A's will try to break their 4-game losing streak. So keep it right here on CSN California. When we come back, go back to the A's pregame live studios, and then we'll have a broad and we'll do the game. Stick around. So the Brewers take the field, and we're set for baseball from Miller Park here in Milwaukee. Wrapping up this quick 2-game series. And let's look at the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. It was another cool day in Milwaukee, and a little bit breezy outside, 59 degrees. So about an hour ago, the roof was closed. So nice and comfortable for the crowd that's still filing in here at Miller Park. For the A's, try to bounce back, get a win tonight, and this is their lineup for tonight. It starts with Coco Crisp. He'll lead off and play left field. Billy Burns will hit second and play center. Then Lowry, Vogt, and Butler in the middle, followed by Alonso, Simeon, Coughlin, and the pitcher Jesse Hahn.
And anybody with the A's last August the 28th in Arizona, they had a chance to face this young man who was with the Diamondbacks and faced the A's on that game, in that game that is, at a no decision. But a pitcher, again, not quite like last night's starter Zach Davies, but he's not a hard thrower. He does possess a good fastball, low 90s, that he'll turn over and have a little sinker. Throws a cut fastball, also a curveball, and a changeup. But the A's trying to find a way to get some hits, especially with runners in scoring position. One of the downfalls of the A's so far in this young season.
Defensively for Milwaukee, Braun, Neuenhuis, and Flores in the outfield. Hill, VR, Jeanette, and Carter on the infield. Jonathan Lucroy is your catcher. So a few changes for Milwaukee with the right-hander going tonight, Jesse Hahn. Craig Counsell, a Wisconsin native, fits right in here in Milwaukee. A couple of World Series titles as a player for Craig Counsell. I know he got the one in the disappointing one for the Indians, right, in 1997.
Yeah. Well, for the Indians, yeah, he was on the good side.
He was on the Marlins.
Yeah.
So Coco steps in. We're set for baseball. Chase Anderson, the 28-year-old right-hander, kicks and delivers. It's bunted, and it's bunted foul. So we're underway from Miller Park. It was a 5-4 Brewers win last night. A little bit too much Chris Carter. Umpires tonight. That's Ed Hickox calling balls and strikes. Greg Gibson at first. Mike Estabrook at second. And the crew chief, Dana DeMuth, is down at third. Oregon player is not messing around tonight, huh, Ray? They're playing the rally chant after one pitch. The problem is the A's are bad.
That's right. Hey, maybe it's an A's fan.
Let's get something going.
Just don't upset the pitcher, Chase Anderson. I think he's a little upset.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
I haven't either.
That's the rally chant. I mean, you play that when your team is batting. We appreciate it. 0-2 the count. Burns to follow, and then Lowry here in the very first inning. 2 pitches, a fastball high.
Well, your point last night, Cap, about the sun beating on the outfield wall, the batter's eye and right center field, and kind of a hazy look in a sense, but that's what the hitters are looking at. So batter's eye, I don't know it's so good right now. So great for the hitters, but it's really on the center field area.
Well, the panel of windows, which is up to our right, is facing straight west.
Exactly.
So the sun is setting, and it's coming right through there. And as it shines through.
Put some shades up there, huh?
Yeah.
Just pull the shade.
Pull those shades down.
Yeah.
Kind you pull down, you know?
Especially this time of the night. If you got to close the roof. I think that'd be a great idea.
There's the panel to the right I'm talking about, and then that's where the sun kind of comes through. It'll be gone soon.
Really, the hitters want to have a batter's eye. Just think about that up high. They had a lot of sun beating off the back wall. In Seattle, they changed that so often. They tried ivy, they tried just painting, tried to do a lot of different things, but the sun just kept beating on it. And in Seattle Northwest, the sun is out a long time.
3-2 the count. Crisp hitting .226 with 5 homers, 22 RBIs, and that one is clean, strike 3 call. Coco had taken a couple steps to first base.
Well, the changeup went right to it on 3-2, and kind of sped up his motion a little bit, his delivery, but pulled the string, and according to Ed Hickox, he liked it. And I questioned it, but That's why we're up here. Coco didn't like it for sure. Good at bat, gets nothing for it.
So 1 out for Burns. He scored 4 runs on 5 hits last night. Buckled with the home run. What's happening right now with the A's is the 2 guys that hit at the top of their order, for the most part, Crisp and Burns, are both struggling.
Yeah,
just not getting on base a lot.
Well, that's a good point. And of course, on base percentage is important. But you know, when you get the guys on base, you want to get the hits to drive
at least one of them.
Exactly. And so that'd be a nice combination. So get those guys on and then take your chances. Of course, they can steal bases, get themselves in a scoring position with just their base runner.
Braun hustling over, and Braun makes the catch. He was into foul territory, but a nice play.
But it's nice at least shading him that direction. Did not have as far to run, but still a very nice play by Braun. See his location when he set up, and then getting near the foul line, knowing they don't have a lot of room, able to shut it down quickly. That's where an outfielder can bang his knees into the sidewalk. Okay. A couple of years he was playing in right field, and I guess Davis came up, was playing left, but he's back in left field now.
So Ray Burns is now 5 for his last 37. Coco Crisp is now 2 for his last 29. So
says it all right there. Good
doesn't
point.
help to have Chris Davis out of the lineup again tonight. Danny Valencia is out of the lineup again. So those are some of the challenges for the A's offensively right now.
Well, I think Bob Melvin has said it best, and that is that whatever lineup is in there, you do your best, you try to manufacture, you try to get some hits and come through and take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. And as we've talked about, Kite, the more injuries that occur, more opportunities for players to show what they are capable of doing. Still upset. Really can't blame him. Leading off the game, starting the game, you're disciplined, and the numbers that you talked about, that makes it even worse that he didn't swing the bat and gets called out on what he thought was ball 4.
2-2 to Jed Lowry. Lowry at .308 with a homer and 19 RBIs, and he lines one into the glove of Scooter Gennett. Side retired. So the A's go quietly in the first. Jesse Hahn is set to roll in the bottom of the first. Brewers tonight. There it is. Jonathan Villar is the shortstop. Scooter Gennett at second. Ryan Braun at left. Jonathan Lucroy the catcher. Chris Carter the hero last night. And Kurt Neuenhuis is in center field. Aaron Hill is at third. Ramon Flores is in right field. Chase Anderson is your pitcher.
During the regular season, first ever start appearance for Jesse Hahn against the Milwaukee Brewers. And I say regular season because the A's do face the Brewers during spring training, and perhaps at one time or another he might have faced them. But tonight His first time at this level and coming off a 38-pitch performance in 2/3 of an inning against the Houston Astros last Friday. He is well rested, strong, and trying to even his record. Stands now at 2-3.
So Jesse Hahn, I'm sure, has been looking forward to getting back out there. First pitch to VR in for a strike.
You're right. That's one of the bad things about 5-man rotation, and you don't do well. That's basically a long 5 days to get back.
1-1 the count to Jonathan VR at 301 is the batting average. 5 homers, 25 RBIs. Having a very fine season. A's kept him quiet last night. He was 0 for 4. So now 1-2 the count. Interesting with Jonathan VR, who I think the Brewers felt like he was just sort of going to hold the shortstop spot down for a young man by the name of Orlando Arcia, who is a very, very highly touted prospect for the Brewers. And he is a shortstop, and he's getting close to the big leagues. So VR says, wait, whoa, time out.
Yeah, I already had to leave because of Carlos Correa.
Yeah,
don't get to me.
That's right. I've seen this before. And he shoots on the left, and that'll get down for a hit. So Jonathan VR is aboard. A's defensively, they line up like this: Crisp, Burns, and Coghlan in the outfield. Alonso, Simeon, Lowry, and Butler on the infield. And Stephen Vogt is your catcher. And that looks like the same lineup as last time.
Yep, exactly.
So Bob Melvin playing a little shorthanded, which is never fun in a National League park.
That's a great point, because last night Dick Smolinski just got under a ball, but he was a pinch hitter against a right-hander. You'd like to have kind of a mixture of lefties and righties on the bench. He's with the left-handed lineup against a right-handed coming out of the bullpen. They're already in the game.
Jonathan VR leads the league in stolen bases with 21.
Jesse,
in fact, he leads the major leagues in stolen bases.
And they look at the clock, the time that the pitcher releases the baseball. VR was looking at his coach, who has the stopwatch.
He's got a big lead. Not running. So VR, 21 steals on the year. He's been thrown out 7 times.
That's a good friend, Greg Gibson, the first base umpire. He is right there checking out everything.
Gibby. You got to believe that VR, he's thinking about going. And he got a huge jump. Vogt's throw is not in time. Stephen Vogt had no chance. But he had about 2 steps before Hahn started.
Just thinking, Cap, if he runs like that and has run to get 22 stolen bases, watch him leave even before Jesse released the ball. And there is no way anybody's going to throw him out. I don't care what kind of arm you have. It's just almost impossible. You just hope you make a good throw, or in this case, Billy Burns is backing up in the event a quick throw goes into center field.
So now runner at second. 1-1 the count to Scooter Gennett. Just a bit outside. 2-1.
We've talked about this before, but VR more than likely with the green light, left-handed hitter makes it difficult. The pitch, though, was so far outside, Gennett wasn't even thinking about swinging the bat, letting VR run, and probably able to hear the crowd and realize it was a big jump by the base runner. Yeah, it's.
Well, the Brewers are playing their 59th game tonight, and they now have 50 stolen bases. They're first in the National League in steals, with a good chunk of those going to VR.
Show last night with Sean Manaea. with a slide step. That is the front foot staying close to the ground, kind of sliding. That's the name, slide step. Sean did a good job. Didn't lose anything off his velocity, but if the pitcher lifts the front leg, front foot, that enables the runner for first base to get a huge jump.
Ryan Braun will be next. Scooter Gennett trying to pull the ball. Pops that foul again.
But Jesse Hahn has the good 12-6 curveball. He's got a good fastball. Ryan Braun, the on-deck hitter, watching Jesse Hahn as he delivers the pitches. But the one thing about Jesse, he's a ground ball pitcher. But sometimes too much energy, power can hurt a sinker ball pitcher, because the more tired you are, it seems to get better sink on your fastball. Well, considering he's in 10 days through 38 pitches, he's well rested, almost maybe too much rest, because right now his fastball is straight. That's what he throws, 70% fastballs. A lot of those two seam, but gets the sinkers and ground ball outs.
Always an interesting theory, right? You want him to be a little tired.
That's right. Not too much, but just enough. So you, and the biggest thing is you don't want to be throwing too hard. And if you have more rest and you're strong, oh gosh.
There he goes. And the ball's hitting the left field, and that's a base hit. So VR will score easily as he was running on the play. And Scooter Gennett with 2 strikes, he had a swing at it. And just like that, the Brewers lead 1-0. So a stolen base certainly comes into play there.
Well, and really Gennett did a good job, even though the runner, he had to swing with 2 strikes. But a hole on the left side of the infield, and I've always been a proponent of a hitter, a runner at second base. You don't always have to pull the ball. And VR had to worry about getting hit, trying to get out of the way, and did it. But for Jesse Hahn, and the throwovers and step-offs, the inside move, all those calls come from the bench. But if you don't get one, it doesn't mean you can't look twice. You can look the runner and look at him again, even though you might not be throwing. And really, in a couple of instances, if Jesse had done that, he might have either caught VR or at least frozen him to where he could not get the jumps that he got.
Braun, good numbers. 335 is the average. Second best in the National League. Taps this one to Simeon. Shuffles to second for 1, and that's a double play. 6-4-3. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Well, if he gives up a run and he learned from it and gets a double play, then it's worth it, because this is exactly what Jesse wants. You have 4 starts and you're double figures and ground ball outs, and you know that's your best part of your game, then you want to throw the sinker. You want to get the ground out, because with a runner on base, you're always 1 pitch away from getting 2 quick outs. And he just didn't.
So here's Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher. Lucroy had a hit last night. He was 1 for 3. He has good numbers. Good on base percentage, very good slugging percentage. Lucroy has 10 doubles, 3 triples, and 9 home runs.
You always think of catchers, bulky. He's just the opposite. Yeah. That's why he can run and get those extra base hits.
Kind of a normal sized guy.
And he's caught quite a while, so it's not as if maybe he just has the type of body. Remember John Wathan, remember he stole 32 bases 1 year. Benito Santiago, those guys had, their legs never got huge from catching. They were able to continue to run even after they had caught a while.
2-1 to count. Lucroy is 29 years old. Looks like he'll turn 30 this weekend. Step one foul.
So if he's almost 30 and he's probably caught 10, 15 years and the legs haven't exploded, they're probably never going to. He should be fine. Call them thunder thighs for a reason when you squat up and down. And you just, your running ability just goes to the wayside. You got no chance.
2-2 pitch. Curveball hit hard, backhanded nicely. Simeon straightens up, throws across, and that's a nice play by the A's shortstop. A run for the Brewers. 1-0 Milwaukee after 1. When it's not doing insurance, it should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. Lake Michigan looking in toward downtown Milwaukee. Jonathan Villar doing his thing. Single, stolen base, scored a run. So the Brewers with an early 1-0 lead. Chase Anderson had a 3-up, 3-down inning in the first. He'll face Vogt, Butler, and Alonso.
Well, Anderson pitched well against the A's last August in Arizona, but ended up getting a no decision. Weekend series the A's had against the Diamondbacks. They toured through the National League West last year. It was hot too.
That's right. We were in Arizona, weren't we?
28, 29, 30th of August. That was a Friday night that he pitched. It was hot.
You know, the Brewers. Yeah, he did. The Brewers got him from the Diamondbacks. It's a pretty big trade. Also got Aaron Hill. Gene Segura, who was the Brewers shortstop, and a pretty good one. And now Segura having a terrific season playing second base in Arizona. So that was a pretty big trade. And it happened late in the offseason. It happened on the 30th of January. So that's just about 3 weeks away from spring training.
Well, like Chris Colley going from the Cubs to the A's, both train in spring train in Arizona. The low strike again. I think what the A's hitters, and Stephen Vogt asking home plate umpire Ed Hickox, but I think A's hitters better start swinging, because if he's going to consistently call the pitch down there, you got no chance.
Payoff pitch is hit in the air, right center. Maybe off the end of the bat a little bit. Flores has it, and that's out number 1 here in the second inning.
At bats back-to-back, well, 3-2 pitches, one to Coco and now one to Vogt, 3-2 changeups. So we've seen Rich Hill successfully throw the curveball 3-2. Now the changeup from this right-hander.
Well, the A's didn't have a hit till the 7th inning last night, and with 2 outs in the 7th, Butler homered, and that was the first hit. There's said and done, I mean, the A's had the tying run at third with 1 out. They had a pretty good chance to come back and win the thing last night. They just could not do it.
They reversed it 2 at-bats by Semien and Coghlan. The A's at least tie it. I asked Chris about the ball he hit, and he said the way the ball carries, he said, I thought I got enough to at least, if not get it over the fence, maybe against the fence. Didn't happen, and A's lost another tough 1-run game.
Yeah, well, this is one of those ballparks when the ball goes in the air. You think, hey, maybe. So 2-1 to Butler.
When Chris Carter comes up, that's why Jesse needs to throw a good sinker. Because he hits the ball in the air. I don't know there's any park that hold it.
I think those windows could be in play with Chris Carter.
That's right.
Big panels out there.
Prince Fielder hit him a couple of times in the All-Star game. Had the home run derby.
It's a shot to right. Flores hustling back, and he reaches up and makes the catch. So pretty good at bat for Billy Butler. A line drive that almost went over the right fielder's head.
Well, Billy looking a little frustrated, and you can't blame him. He is not getting a lot of opportunities to play. He's got a couple of starts back-to-back against right-handed pitchers. Home run last night, trying to go opposite field, which is his patented swing, at least in his career with the Kansas City Royals. And nice play by Flores, who played in center field last night. Can't swing it any better than that.
There's Alonso. Alonso on the ground. Tough hop for Jeanette, and he makes the play. Side retired. 6 up, 6 down for Chase Anderson. Bottom of the second coming up. 1-0 Milwaukee. Chris Carter.
Well, it sounded unbelievable off his bat, Camp, and that's the problem. Sean Manaea. This one, though, I don't know that anybody could figure out how he hit it. The pitch was so far away from him. Bernie Brewer knew all about it, but Chris Carter is strong, and he was the difference in the game last night.
It really is a unique swing. I mean, he's a huge man, but he has a very short swing. It's a very compact swing. Bat speed's there. And that one is rolled. Lowry has it. No, he doesn't. It scoots under his glove. So really wasn't much of a hard hit ball at all, but the shift was on. And Chris Carter says, I'll take it.
Well, and Bob Melvin talked about power hitters, yes, but broke his bat. And right in the second base spot, but last night he had 2 home runs straight away center. And Jesse Hahn had him saying, what is going on? I get a broken bat. I'm going to get an out instead. Chris Carter has another hit.
So Carter aboard, leadoff single, 3 hits now for the Brewers, and here's Kirk Neuenhuis. First pitch is in for a strike. 207 for Neuenhuis, 2 homers, 15 RBIs. Bounced around a lot in his career. And he shoots that one to left, and that's a hit. Gilchrist hustles over to cut it off. Carter to second. So Jesse Hahn right back into the stretch. 2 on, nobody out. Nothing's going to be easy tonight.
And really, that's a good swing by Neuenhuis, the inside-out swing, and give him credit for that. But the real problem is you get a ground ball, and then all of a sudden an elevated pitch, and get a good swing from a hitter, and he gets a base hit in the air.
So here's Aaron Hill in the lineup tonight. Hill playing at third base. Gotta believe, Ray, Aaron Hill will be a trade chip at the deadline. Still swings a pretty good bat.
But you're talking about the trade, and he was actually yesterday referencing the fact that he was not going to play that much in Arizona. So he was happy to be traded here because it did give him an opportunity to play more. Last night at second, third base tonight. You hit 3 home runs in a game.
You could still hit.
Yeah, you got some power.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if Hill ends up going somewhere. He's 34 years old. Good years in Arizona. Real good years in Toronto. He has been around a while. His 12th year in the big leagues. But also an infielder, played both sides of the diamond, third base and second base, and that's nice to have.
You also like to have somebody that's been around, he's a veteran. Played both the American and the National League. He downplayed hitting 3 home runs in Cincinnati.
No big deal.
That's a bandbox. I said, hey, he says, it seemed like every time I hit a ball, an outfielder's jumping, it's just over his glove. And I said,
that's a flare down the right field line, but it's fine.
I said, there's a pretty important hitter by the name of Hank Aaron, played for the Brewers and the Braves for many, many years. And he always said, just let it go over the fence, front row. I don't care. And Hank Aaron hit about 700 and what, 55? 55.
A lot of them right over in the parking lot behind.
That's right. For the Braves and the Brewers, came back, played for the Brewers after his great career in Atlanta. Hit number 715.
Two pitch, and Hill taps it up the third base line, middle of the ball foul. So here's the 3-homer game in Cincinnati by Aaron Hill. It was on the 7th of May. Okay, so
front row.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's see number 2.
Now this one,
yeah, a little bit
that's
deeper.
a good one.
There's a slam. He knew it was gone. Front row. Left center.
Well, we'll see if it's a bandbox for the A's this weekend.
Yeah, I know. Geez, they'd love it, wouldn't they? Between the hot weather and the potential rain, who knows what it's going to be like.
You always hate to tell our great fans back home, it's a bandbox. Yeah. And then you don't want your team to go there and not score a bunch of runs.
Against a team that's kind of rebuilding.
Yep.
Still had Big Joey Votto at first base. I don't know if they could ever get rid of his contract, which is humongous. But they have a pretty good manager, Brian Price, good friend of Bob Melvin's. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to visiting over the weekend. Right now, the A's would like to end their 4-game losing streak and do it tonight with Jesse on the mound.
On kicks, 2-2 pitch is tapped towards Simeon. Out at second, on to first, not in time. This not quite hit hard enough. So now the Brewers will have runners on the corners with 1 out.
Jed Lowry at second base making a very quick turn, strong arm, but Rich Hill just down the line quickly enough, and I agree with you, hitting the grass slowed it down a little bit, just enough for Hill to be able to beat it out. Aaron Hill can still run.
So here is the left-handed hitting Ramon Flores. And the pitcher is on deck. Flores takes a fastball a little bit inside, 93 miles an hour from Jesse Hahn. Flores was 1 for 3 last night. He played center field last night.
Probably happier right tonight that he can see the ball a little bit better off the bat.
He had a couple interesting routes last night. Missed again. 2-0. Well, this is where the National League style of play with the pitcher hitting ninth comes into play right here. Because even if you did, I think you could probably pitch carefully to Flores, and if you don't, if you walk him, well, then you have the pitcher coming up with the bases loaded. And that one is driven left field. Coco on the move, still on the move, and he caught it. What a play by Coco Crisp. Plenty deep for a sacrifice fly as Carter comes in to score, and Hill has to scamper back to first base. But that was a terrific play by Coco Crisp. Almost looked like he threw up his glove right at the last second.
Well, elevated fastball, you're not going to get a ground ball on this pitch. And you're right, Coco, a great play. Aaron Hill actually had rounded second on his way to third, thinking it was over the head of Coco. But his momentum for Coco took him past the warning track, and by that time, Aaron Hill able to get back to first easily. But I agree with you about pitching Flores carefully and take a chance with Chase Anderson, who's going to be bunting now, trying to get another run in score position. Maybe it's a good hitter.
First pitch is a strike to Chase Anderson.
That wouldn't be a good idea because of 2 outs, so that maybe he should bunt.
See what happens when the pitcher hits, Red?
I know, it just
gets
messes
us all
up
confused.
everything. Well, it got me confused, not you.
Base hit right field. Anderson slices one to right. So Hill will stop at second. Now the ball squirts away, but Alonso alertly grabs it. So Anderson put a pretty good swing on a pitch that was away.
See the height of it, though? That's where Jesse gets in trouble. And if there's anything, Kurt Young's going to visit with him, anything he could say and do to just try to get consistently down in the strike zone, and what we're seeing tonight with Flores and now with Anderson, the pitcher. And maybe just the too strong and elevating his pitches too much.
He's already given up 5 hits in this game and a couple of runs. So here's Jonathan Villar. Villar singled, stole the base, scored a run in the first inning. Six pitches for Hahn. Big curve. Villar watches it all the way. Brewers had just a total of 6 hits last night, but of course 2 of them were the home runs by Carter. They already have 5 hits tonight. Blocked by Vogt.
Vogt trying to get him to get the ball down, and he does it and blocks the ball. So Stevens doing his part. Work of a catcher and constant work.
So 2-0. Villar sitting in a good hitter's count. And a high strike call, 94 miles an hour. But again, a little up
And you know, Kipe, if Ed Hickok's the home plate umpire, he's already shown he's going to call the low strike. And if you're a sinker ball pitcher, the umpire can help you. And when the ball is elevated, it's straight and a very hittable pitch. Jesse knows all that. It's just a matter of accomplishing what he really is trying to do and get the ball down.
That one was high, so now 3-1. On deck would be Scooter Gennett. There are 2 outs in the inning. Outfield shaded a little bit toward left center for VR. Big gap in right center. Grounded towards Simeon, who grabs it to first, and they got him on a close play. VR stumbles over the bag. And we'll see if the Brewers want to check it. It was very close. VR has great speed, and he was busting it down the line. Craig Gibson called him out.
Not definitive. The key is he's called out, and they are going to look at it. Well, he jumped to the bag, really jumped to the bag, and that's why he catapulted over the bag when he hit the front of it. And immediately, of course, check, see where the ball is and where his foot is.
So interesting. And as always, as Ray said, is there enough to overturn? If he's out, the inning's over. If he's safe, the bases are loaded.
And Jed Lowry playing just enough, far enough from the bag, and it should have been an easy force. And I thought maybe initially Marcus would go to the bag himself, but probably felt it was easier.
I think he had time to flip to second.
I do too. And just all of that trying to work. See, they're showing the play on Diamond Vision, and I mean, you need to have it be definitive. And let's see, and this slowed down, jumping at the bag, and just a question: could you tell is the foot on the bag? Is the ball in the glove? And I hope they're saying in New York, what's the call on the field? We'll go with that one, which is out. Hey, VR's lucky he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah, he did. Took a big leap, and then he ended up tripping over Butler. It looked like he tripped over maybe Butler's right leg. So they're taking a long look at it.
So you want a pace of a game?
This is not helping our pace of game. And there's not a whole lot we can do about it.
Nope.
If they give you the call immediately, well, then you know that it was pretty obviously a pretty easy call.
Yeah, definitive one way or the other. Yeah, and that's why it's always best if you have the call on the field in your favor.
Exactly.
It's good.
Here we go.
We shall see.
Wow. Safe. So the A's will return to their positions, and the bases will be loaded. So a very, very close play. And VR gets a hit, so he's 2 for 2. He's happy about that. And now this becomes a big at-bat already in the game.
And really the biggest at-bat was Chase Anderson, the pitcher, getting a base hit to right field.
And how many times, Ray, have we said when the pitcher hits, if he does get a hit, which doesn't happen very often,
that's right,
but it can screw everything up. And I agree with you. I mean, look, Jesse Hahn is going to have to throw another probably 8 to 10, maybe more pitches because of the pitcher getting the hit.
And you know the one thing that I did not see Jesse Hahn throw one pitch in that 2 hours and what 2 minutes and 45 seconds, whatever the time it took. And you know you stand on the mound. Actually, Billy Butler walked from first over to third to get in that conversation, and then they come back out and you have to resume play. Coco makes a great play on the fly ball. You got a runner at first base, 2 outs, and all of a sudden base hit, bases loaded.
Curveball rolled foul. Jeanette not a big home run hitter. He does have a grand slam though. It happened back in 2014. Scooter Jeanette. Hustling in the left center field and maybe fighting those lights or maybe the panel with the sun coming through, but either way he makes the play. A run for the Brewers. They lead 2-0.
Your annual company party. Check out the A's Eastside Club. Eastside Club accommodates up to 1,200 guests and includes a pre-game catered meal and game ticket. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or you can visit athletics.com/BBQ. Hey,
did you see him? Did you see him this trip?
Fonz?
Yeah, I saw him last trip. I did not get to walk the Wisconsin River, but that is the Fonz. Actual size, too. He was really just kind of a little guy. But man, he was cool.
Yes, he was cool.
I mean, pound for pound, he was pretty cool.
Well, he had the haircut, the hairdo. But you know, when you're on TV in the 60s and 70s, you have a tendency to age a little bit.
Yes, he did.
So that statue on the Riverwalk is probably of his younger years.
Yeah, he's not aging at all. He's looking good. 2-0 Brewers lead. Chase Anderson back to work. He's retired the first 6. Simeon, Coughlin, and Hahn here in the 3rd.
Making all these guys seem like they're Cy Youngs.
Cy Anderson.
Cy Anderson, Cy Davies last night.
A's are 25-33 on the year, so they need a winning streak. Game number 59 for the Athletics.
And you know they need the winning streak, and if they lose one, they don't need a long losing streak. I mean,
that's the hole they
won 5, lost 4, and trying to avoid a 5-game losing streak tonight.
And this one skied to left, playable for Ryan Braun. And Braun waits, and he grabs it. And we talk about this often, Ray, but that is the problem this time of year. If you're 6, 7 games under 500, doesn't mean you can't. It doesn't mean you're out of the race.
That's right.
There's plenty of time to have a winning streak, get rolling. But the one problem is you really can't afford a stretch where you lose 10 out of 12.
Yeah.
Because then you go from being 5 or 6 games under 500 to 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And then it's difficult because the hole is very large. Right now the A's are 8 games under 500, 11 out.
I think John Hickey brought up a good point in today's column. He travels, one of the beat writers, but I couldn't believe that. See, last year at 38 games, the A's were 11 behind in the standings. But you know, you have to look at 12. You have to look at seasons in which they are long seasons. And it does not mean that if you fall, it's not the playoffs. You lose in the playoffs early, you're done. But in the regular season, 162, you can start poorly. But as long as you don't just completely give up and quit, you can at least mount some sort of comeback.
Got a 4-game series against the Rangers coming up at home. Oakland goes around. Looked like he about halfway through he tried to hold up. Pitch was in off the plate.
Well, a little indecisive, just almost like Marcus Semien in second in this one. Do I swing? Don't I swing? And he committed too much, and really probably to avoid really hurting himself. He continued. So Bob Melvin was telling Jesse Hahn what to do in hopes of Coughlin getting on base. He did not, so now he's up to swing the bat.
2 for 25 for Jesse Hahn. Of course, he got some at bats his time with the San Diego Padres.
Double batting gloves, got it all. Looks like a hitter. As Sean Manaea today, I said, how fast did that 78-mile-an-hour fastball that you tried to bunt last night? He said about 105.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different when you're standing at the plate and you're not accustomed to hitting.
So I would imagine if you're a pitcher in the National League and you are batting a fair amount, it may not get easier, but you feel a little bit more comfortable at least. And maybe the ball doesn't seem like it's coming out of a bazooka.
Exactly.
2-2 to Hahn. Breaking ball and swings and misses. So 9 up, 9 down for Chase Anderson so far. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. Brewers 2, A's nothing. California is brought to you by naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt Redwood Lumber and Timbers. Visit getredwood.com. a mini Bernie Brewer slide. It's a very popular thing to do here. Of course, Senior Bernie has his own slide way up on top out in left field. Brewers hit a home run. Bernie goes for a slide.
Talking with Hall of Famer Bob Uecker, who came out early today to do a promo for an upcoming bobblehead, which is going to be a Bob Uecker alarm clock bobblehead. We talked about that when the Sean Doolittle Metallica bobblehead was voted #1. But Uecker said he went up into Bernie's little hideaway there and did the commercial. The bobblehead, or the alarm clock, says, "Get up, get up, get up, go to business, go to work." Can you imagine? But, you know, I asked Bob Uecker, I said, you know, where did this phrase, get up, get out of here, and gone? He said, you know, we all did it in the dugout. You know, you sit in the dugout and somebody hit a fly ball, you say, get up, go. You know, and he said, I just did it. And it said, we all did it in the dugout. He said, I didn't do it as much. I did it more cheering than cheering for me.
Sure.
But that's it. Get up, get out of here, gone. And that's, you think about it, then you're sitting on a bench, guy hits a fly ball, and you're saying, go,
get up.
Yeah, get up.
Hahn grabs it, fires to first, and that's out #1.
It's a good start. He's 3 outs and 2 at-bats for Lucroy against Jesse Hahn.
I have to give you a little Miller Park history, Ray, and I'm curious if you remember this. We're talking about Bernie Brewer, which he's a big hit around here. There was a gentleman many years ago by the name of Milt Mason, and he was the original Bernie Brewer. Now, he wasn't like the full Bernie Brewer mascot, but he was considered Bernie Brewer. And in year #1 of the Brewers here in Milwaukee, 1970, they were not drawing very well. They were not a good team. Attendance was not great. And so Bernie Brewer / Milt Mason said, I'm going to live on top of the scoreboard until the Brewers get a crowd of 40,000 people. And this was June, and they still hadn't had a big crowd. People thought he was crazy. So they put a camper on top of the scoreboard at County Stadium, and he lived there for 40 days until they drew a crowd of 44,000 in the middle of August, and he came down.
That's great.
And Dallaire, a great producer, dug, and he found some photos.
That's beautiful.
Look at the camper, and it was
great.
Positioned on top of the scoreboard. So you think about how high that is.
Yeah.
And he lived there for 40 days.
Did it rain?
It did everything. He would go down a kind of a pole or a rope if he had to go to the bathroom or something. And finally, they had a Sunday crowd of over 44,000. And he said, that's it, I'm done. I've been in this camper on top of the scoreboard for over a month. He was just trying to help the Brewers out and get some people in here. And it worked, and that was their first year here in Milwaukee.
That's amazing.
Milt Mason. Sweet Bernie Brewer outfit, too. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. There he is.
That is not Milt Mason, although we don't think it is, but it could be.
The thing about being a mascot, you can be anybody. And you can do anything you want to do because nobody knows who you are unless you dug up what you just dug up.
Yeah, unfortunately, the great Milt Mason, he passed away a couple years later after that, 1973. That's your Brewers County Stadium history lesson. For this inning, we could have more. 2-0 Milwaukee after 3.
MLB All-Star Game ballot green and gold at athletics.com on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can select guys like Danny Valencia, Chris Davis, Josh Reddick, anybody in the A's team. Vote up to 35 times. Vote today. Vote tomorrow. Vote at athletics.com/vote. Or vote for vote.
That's right.
VOGT. Vote.
How about this? Get a hit. How about that?
Yeah, don't wait until the 7th inning like last night.
2-0 Brewers. It's the top of the 4th. Chris, Burns, and Lowry. Chase Anderson has gone 9 up, 9 down with 3 strikeouts. His first time through the order.
Coco said that was a strike in the first inning.
Coco was not happy being called out in the first inning. A little bit inside. Coco 0 for his last 13.
They say when Coco goes, so go the Athletics, and good time for him to go.
Hits it hard, and it's under the glove of Carter, and it rolls down the right field line just a little bit. So that's going to be an error on Carter, and the A's have a base run. It was hit fairly hard, but right at Carter.
Well, you can cancel part of the press conference. It's the first base run. The A's would like to take advantage of this mistake by Chris Carter. Took advantage last night momentarily on a ground ball hit by Billy Butler to Villar that he threw a sinker over to Chris Carter. Kept the A's going in the 9th inning, but they could not score enough to tie. 1 short. Maybe they could do something with this error by Chris Carter.
First pitch to Burns, a little bit outside. Aaron Hill in on the grass at 3rd.
Let's get Anderson out of the stretch for the first time.
Sometimes that makes a difference. Burns the fly ball to left field. Braun made a nice running catch in foul territory in the first inning. Changeup at 81 miles an hour. Burns was well out ahead of that one.
Boy, he likes a changeup. Anderson does, and he'll throw it any time. 3-2. We've already seen that a couple of times, and this one with a 1-0 changeup.
So 20% changeups tonight. A few curveballs.
Yeah, especially the one to Jesse Hahn. You knew he was going to do that to the pitcher. That's right. Normally a pitcher to another pitcher will not give a fastball to hit. Jesse did to Anderson last inning without a base hit to right field. Key against a pitcher is to get ahead of him, and so you can throw your off-speed pitches, curveball especially.
Missed again, and now 2-1. Anderson pitching better, just like Zach Davies last night.
Exactly.
Off to a slow start. Anderson won his last start at Philadelphia, pitched into the 6th inning. And now a little frustrated, 3-1 the count.
See, that changeup he threw more towards the middle of the plate and broke away. The one he threw to Coco in the first inning, 3-2, he went right over the top, threw it down the middle. If you throw a good changeup as he did 1-0, you don't have to try to go to the corners. Just throw it with the same delivery and towards the middle of the plate.
Right field. Flores is right there. Coco thinking about tagging, bluffs. And Flores gets it in quickly. So Burns is out, and that's the first out here in the 4th inning. So Anderson, sometimes you fall behind as a pitcher. You just got to try to make a decent pitch and hope for an out. And Burns hit that ball decent, but Flores was right there. So 1 out, and here's Lowry. Lowry hit a line drive to Scooter Gennett to end the first inning. Astros and the Rangers will play again tonight. That's a 4-game series going on down there in Arlington. Tonight will be game 3 of the 4-game set. The Rangers continue to have their way with the Astros. It'll be frustrating for Houston. Astros are 0-8 versus Texas this year.
Well, frustrating for them, just like it's frustrating for the A's to win 5 in a row and go into Houston and get swept over the weekend. And of course, the Astros swept the A's and now having trouble with the Rangers.
In the air, left field, but foul. After the Rangers have won 5 in a row and 9 out of 10, and Texas now has the best record in the American League, so they're on a nice roll. A 4-game lead over Seattle, so they're stretching it out a little bit anyways. Mariners will host the Indians later on. That is also a 4-game series. It'll be game 3 of the 4. Strike called on the outside corner. So 1-2 to Lowry. Carrasco for the Indians. Walker for Seattle.
There goes Aaron Hill over to the
they're moving.
second base area.
VR stays at the shortstop spot.
And Jeanette talking about who's going to be covering second baseman. Remember last night when Ryan Braun got to second and Jet Lowry was trying to get the defensive alignment, and Braun kept talking to him. And Jet said, I told him, just wait a minute. Let me find out where I'm supposed to play.
I'll tell you about my family in a minute.
We'll talk in a minute. But he said, I couldn't believe it. Just kept talking. He said, you know, we have these shifts. I got to find out where I'm supposed to play.
2-2 pitch is lined just foul. So the count will remain 2-2.
Well, on this weekend, the A's will finally get to play outdoors baseball. 3 in Houston indoors. It's the weather there, but it's been relatively nice here. But both games roof closed, so over the weekend at Cincinnati, the A's will be outdoors for sure.
Blocked by Lucroy, finds it.
If I'm wrong, the A's have been to St. Pete, already been to Toronto. That's about it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So as far as dome stadiums, Seattle has a carport, so that doesn't really count.
No.
It's not like it's completely enclosed, so maybe this will be it. Is there any possibility?
So we'll be domed out after tonight. Popped up. Coming in is Neuenhuis, the center fielder, and he's got it. So 2 outs here in the 4th inning, and that gets us to our greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Get you ready for the weekend series in Cincinnati with the pitching matchups. Sonny Gray and Anthony Desclafani. That is on Friday. Saturday, Kendall Graveman and Dan Straley. And Sunday, Sean Manaea and John Lamb. Lamb is left-hander. So Gray, Graveman, and Manaea. Now that may not be what you read yesterday at this time, but there's been a few changes. Rich Hill threw a bullpen today, and he did not feel great. The groin is bothering him still, so he is going to the Bay Area for an MRI, and he will not pitch obviously this weekend. So we hope he gets good news on the MRI, but obviously there has to be a little concern. Rich Hill last pitched on May 29th, Ray, so that was 10 days ago.
Well, I think the important thing that he said, and first of all, as we talked to in our pregame show about the importance of getting 100%, getting well, because legs are so important in all aspects of the game. But you know, he realized in running and pitching how important the legs are. In his case of the groin injury, of how it affected him. This is what had happened actually against Detroit. He did it then, but he said it actually happened in the 4th inning. This was the 7th inning when he came out. And it kind of flexed his left leg, limped a little bit, and see him lift the left leg, and they decided precautionary, let's take him out, and that was the last time. But he said it kind of happened the 4th. He pitched through it till the 7th, and he got a little bit worse. And you know, the smartest thing he can do is take the time, because this is still June. It's not like it's September where you're trying to put a team in postseason. You'd like to have him available for the majority of the season.
So the A's will be patient with Rich Hill. And again, I think the 2 off days, it's going to save the A's rotation this week.
You're exactly right.
There's an off day Monday and an off day tomorrow. So even though Graveman and Manaea got slid up a day from their when they were scheduled to pitch, they're still pitching on regular rest. So and you could come back with Jesse Hahn on Monday.
Actually, Graveman pitched Saturday, didn't he? In Houston. I think it's full week. And Sunday pitched Sunday, so he goes Friday, normal turn. And Manaea will be on normal turn, so Graveman gets the extra rest.
3-2, 2 outs, runner going. It's popped up. Right in the middle of the diamond, and Carter, right on the mound, makes the catch. Side retired. So a runner on an error, but that's it. 2-0 Brewers as we go to the bottom of the 4th. September 9th, 1992. That is Robin Yount in front of a sellout crowd here at County Stadium. He gets career hit number 3,000, 3rd youngest player to do it. He singled off Jose Mesa, 36-year-old Robin Yount. It's funny, he got his 1,000th career hit against the Indians, his 2,000th career hit against the Indians, and his 3,000th. Probably the best Brewer of them all.
Yeah.
He was terrific.
And his first year in the major leagues, his number 19. He was that young when he came up, and what a class individual. Became an outstanding center fielder.
MVP in 1982, Gold Glove in 1982. 82 was the year for the Brewers. That's the only time they have made it to the World Series, and they had a terrific team.
Yeah, AL chance, but the Cardinals beat them.
Cardinals beat them. Brewers had a 3-2 lead in that series. And that is the statue of Robin Yount right at the main entrance here at Miller Park.
I thought that was Michael Zagaris with those pipes, those guns, man.
No, he's probably in the shot somewhere. Here at Miller Park.
See, man. Yeah, that's a nice statue.
Yeah, it is. The kid. New and Ice leading things off, but yeah, 1982. Milwaukee was enjoying the Brewers, but they went to St. Louis with a 3-2 lead in the World Series, and they lost Game 6 and Game 7 in St. Louis. It was a great series. Robin Yount was the American League MVP, and Pete Vukovich was the American League Cy Young.
Yeah.
Luke
was with the Mariners, and I think he's now with the Diamondbacks scouting.
See him around occasionally.
Yeah. Storman Gorman Thomas was there. Of course, Sal Bando. Sal signed with the Brewers after leaving the Athletics.
And that's a base hit. New and Ice with the leadoff single. Well, a big part of that 1982 team as well was a guy that we certainly know and love, Rollie Fingers.
Yep.
Where he ended up getting traded to the Brewers, and he was terrific. And let's not forget, Ray, in 1981, Rollie Fingers was the Cy Young winner and the MVP with the Brewers. How about that?
Yep.
So he was not here very long, but he had a big impact.
San Diego, and of course Milwaukee, Oakland, of course, when they went to the Hall of Fame as an A.
And that one's belted towards center, but Burns is there. And Billy Burns has. But correct me if I'm wrong, but Rollie Fingers left the A's and signed a free agent contract with the Padres, right? And then he was traded from the Padres to the Brewers.
Yeah, during that same time, Mr. Charlie Finley decided against giving anybody a multi-year contract, and Gino, Sal, Campy, Rollie, Reggie had already gone, Joe Rudy to the Angels, Bando to the Brewers, Rollie down there, San Diego, I want to say Campy went down there as well, Gino, but I mean, it's just
they all went.
Everybody left, you know. And
that's right. Gene Tennis went to the Padres, right? Joe Rudy, Angels. Where did Campaneris? Texas.
Texas, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I said, but it was Texas, yeah.
So they were gobbled up in free agency.
Well, when free agency first came into play, Charlie just was adamant about, I think Joe Rudy, because players wanted to stay together, and Joe was willing basically to say, give me a 3-year contract for hardly any money. And Charlie just basically said, I'm not giving multi-year contracts to anybody. And it made those players a lot of money, because when he adamantly said no, they went to different directions, and as prime free agents got pretty good contracts at that time.
Inside, quick throw. But it's funny to see two guys who are so well known in Oakland, right. Rollie Fingers and Sal Bando. Yeah. They were huge here in Milwaukee as well.
That's right. Now Sal signed a 5-year contract with the Brewers when he left Oakland. But you know, Rollie Fingers can give all the credit for his success as a closer. And it wasn't more than one inning. He had 3 innings, 4 innings, whatever it took to close the game. But it was Dick Williams who realized that Rollie couldn't start. Rollie originally was a starting pitcher, and he just couldn't stand the time off in between. And so Dick said, go to the bullpen. And he became one of the greatest closers ever. Remember, in Game 1 of the World Series in '74, he threw 4 1/3 innings. So it wasn't a 1-inning closer. I mean, Rollie might have got 1,000 if he had done it. He and Goose Gossage, they were throwing multiple innings for saves.
Two and 1 the count to Ramon Flores. 7 hits now for the Brewers. Flores takes inside, and now it's 3-1.
Bob Melvin, we talked about his work with the Brewers. Sal Bando was the general manager at the time. Phil Darden, the manager, and worked for the Brewers. So good friends. They have remained. Sal and the skipper. Sal's in the Arizona area, Scottsdale, Phoenix area during spring training, and they see each other quite a bit.
3-1 pitch to Flores is a walk. So 2 on 1 out.
Sounds about the change up from Jesse Hahn's working not quite as well as to this hitter coming down, Chase Anderson.
So quick meeting, making sure everybody's on the same page.
How many games did you say the Packers played at County Stadium?
Just a couple each year.
Each year?
Yeah. For a long time.
I thought that was interesting. That and what part of the state? Green Bay versus Milwaukee.
Keep the fans down here happy.
Yeah. Well, they've got front page of the sports page already, so they must be very happy.
It's probably not going to change. Pulls the bunt back, does the pitcher Anderson.
Well, that's what Bob Melvin, of course, the pitchers do not hit as often as the National League pitchers, but Bob Melvin said you have to know the signs because this is the type of play I might put on. He's giving signs to Stephen Vogt now, but he said as far as the hitters, you might fake a bump but be able to bring the bat back and just kind of slash at it. Try to put the ball in play, see if Anderson does the same thing.
He's bunting this time and he pokes at it. So 1-1 the count. Anderson will take a long look down to third base coach Ed Cedar.
Hey Ed, do you think your pitchers know your signs?
I think they do.
I'm going to make sure. I'm going to verbally tell them.
So he's squaring to bunt and then to the backstop.
At that time, Cappy was trying to bunt the ball to third base, which first and second, that's the best place to bunt. Charging was Billy Butler, runners at first and second, so he could vacate first base quickly, whereas Alonso at third had to stay close. But from a hitter standpoint, I don't care if you're a hitter or a pitcher, you try to direct the ball, it makes it more difficult to bunt, and 2 strikes is going to probably try to do it again. It's a wasted at bat, don't want to hit it in a double play.
1-2 pitch is bunted. Hahn can't get it. Alonso does, he throws in time. So Anderson with 2 strikes gets the sacrifice down.
And he had a pitch that was perfect to do exactly that. Fastball elevated. 1-2 count. Curveball. Curveball is hard to bunt. This ball up in the zone. And he said, thank you. I didn't get fined. I got the bunt down. Advanced 2 runners in the scoring position. Got to feel good.
So 2 away. So we just looked something up, Ray. We want to make sure we correct ourselves. Raleigh Fingers was not traded from the Padres to the Brewers. He was traded from the Padres to the Cardinals, and then the Cardinals to the Brewers. So we missed a team. We missed the Cardinals.
Yeah, I forgot.
We want to make sure that we got that right. So VR, who's sitting on a couple of hits, comes up in a big spot.
And he squared around to push a bunt his first pitch, which even with a couple of outs, runners at second and third, he's already shown a great speed.
2 for 2, 2 singles, stolen base, and a run score. You and I said third, Flores at second. Curve, maybe a cross up.
Huge, big cross up.
Should just be glad that Vogt caught it.
Yeah. This is called, I'm looking fastball. Watch, he's going to go up and go, yay, wow. You know, it's better to go that route. You know, if you're looking curveball and you get a fastball, it's by you before you can blink.
So with the count 3-0, they're going to walk VR and pitch to Scooter Gennett. So second walk for Jesse Hahn. Here comes Gennett, who has singled in a run and hit a fly ball to left field. So Jeanette digging in. First pitch, and he loops one to right for a hit. 1 run scores, 2 runs are going to score, and how he hit that, I do not know. It ended up being a little lob wedge that just dropped right over the infield. So it's 4-0 Milwaukee.
That was a great description. That was a lob wedge. Fastball in on his hands. Somehow he made contact without breaking his bat. Maybe pulled the hands in enough to get it around the trademark. And he didn't know where the ball was. And Jet Lowry really just, he couldn't have flipped it out. He couldn't have thrown it more perfectly.
I really think if he doesn't swing at that, it may hit him.
I agree.
So Jesse Hahn is done for the night. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Produced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So Jesse Hahn, 3 2/3 innings, 8 hits, and 4 runs so far. And the last one, that's frustrating. Scooter Gennett just loops one into right field. 74 pitches for Hahn, so he will hand the ball over to Ryan Dahl, facing Braun. First pitch is a breaking ball that stays high.
Fortunately for Jesse Hahn, let's look at the numbers of Ryan Dahl. Then, of course, his success of leaving inherited runners on base, and boy, this would be huge for Jesse Hahn and the A's to keep these 2 on base. Jesse, you combine the 38. 74 tonight. He's thrown a little equivalent of more than just 1 game in 2/3 on Friday. So just a total of 4 1/3 innings.
Fastball coming right at Braun. Fouls it into the press box. The writers portion of the press box, which is down to our right. I don't see any laptops broken. There's the note. 22 for 22 in stranding inherited runners. Fastball first strike. Braun didn't like the call, but it looked like it was right there.
I don't know where he thought it was not a strike. It wasn't low.
Right on the inside.
Like right on the corner, a perfectly thrown pitch.
And then he chases a ball in the dirt, so Dahl stops the inning, but not before the Brewers score twice. So we're going to the 5th. Milwaukee 4 and the A's nothing.
Go to athletics.com/tickets and use coupon code DAD to receive $10 off field level tickets to see the A's take on their AL West rivals, the Los Angeles Angels. Discounted Father's Day tickets are subject to availability, so make your plans now to treat Dad to an afternoon of baseball on Sunday, June the 19th, a day that he will never forget.
So 5th inning, it's 4-0. Chase Anderson drops a big curve in for a strike to Butler. He'll be followed by Alonso and Simeon here in the 5th. Butler hit a line drive to the right fielder his first at bat. Now he's behind in the count 0-2. Chase Anderson has been very good so far.
Really got the first hit against Davies last night in the 7th inning. A's still looking for the first hit tonight in the 5th.
Hard curveball in the dirt.
Chase Anderson tonight kept his head. 3-1 count to Simeon. Flew out to left field, but he's had 3 full counts to Chris, twice to Vogt. All 3 times he's thrown changeup and gotten out. And there it is again. Likes to throw it, especially, well, any time, but especially if it's a hitter's count. That was more of a pitcher's count. Went soft with the changeup, missed low. Shook off a fastball. He shook off a curveball. And Luke Roy put down the changeup, and Billy Butler backed down. Fastball, shook it off, went back to it.
And the fastball ran in on Butler. So the count remains 2-2.
You know, that's kind of an example. The catcher calls a fastball. Pitcher shakes off the fastball and the curveball. Steps out, and as Billy Butler asked for time, he went back to the fastball, and he's okay. I'll go with you. Maybe you know what you're doing.
I don't know how many pitches he's got.
He shook off fastball away and in, a changeup and a curveball. Slider. Didn't know you had one.
And there it is. And now it's a full count.
It's always great when a catcher just says, just kind of bows his head, ducks his head.
Okay.
And, well, whatever.
All right.
I've gone through everything you throw. Fastball away. Got a 4-run lead.
And it's right there, strike 3 call. So he painted the outside corner.
And Butler might have been looking changeup because he had thrown the changeup so much 3-2. But you also have to look. Now he's thinking more about he has a 4-run lead. Before it was a 2-run lead, a 1-run lead. So he's going more with a percentage pitch, and it fools Butler, couldn't pull the string.
So 1 away. Here's Yonder Alonso. Alonso takes inside. Alonso grounded out to second in the second. Alonso had a couple of hits last night. He's got 8 hits in his last 16 at bats. Starting at third base again tonight. 4th time this year that he has started at third base. Danny Valencia still a little bit under the weather. One ripped foul.
Well, according to the reports, Danny Valencia didn't leave the hotel on Monday, the off day. Didn't play last night, not playing tonight, have an off day tomorrow. So that gives him really 4 days to get well, to get better, to be able to play this weekend in Cincinnati.
1-2 pitch, changeup, and Alonso watches it. .73 pitches with 1 out in the 5th inning. So his pitch count's up a little bit.
Yeah, Davies last night similar, and Rick Council's manager said he would have gone out for the 8th, but maybe not the 9th.
Maybe not the 9th.
If he had had a no-hitter still intact.
Yeah, I mean, where Davies was headed last night, if it would have got that far, it would have been 125, 130 pitches probably. He was very good. There's that changeup. Oh, you just see the swing. I mean, really, the swing almost tells you what the pitch is.
Yeah. Well, Zach Davies was Cy Davies because he had a great movement. He also had great location. He got ground balls and double plays and just pitched great. 2-seam fastball in, slider away, cutter away, changeup. Great diving play that would, at the time, preserve the no-hitter. But Billy Butler, one swing, ended everything.
So he's going to sit back and enjoy. Mets will not have a day off tomorrow. They will stay home, though. They will have the New York Mets in town for a 4-game series. There's a shot left field. Braun's right there. Side retired. Another 3-up, 3-down inning. So the A's no hits through 5. Brewers leading 4-0. 23rd, 1988, right here in Milwaukee. That's Jose Canseco. He had a pair of steals that night. They were his 39th and 40th of the year. And of course, he was baseball's first 40-40 man. 40 steals, 40 home runs. He finished with 42 homers and 40 steals. 4 players have done it. Canseco was one of them. He was the MVP that year. It was a 14-inning A's victory at County Stadium. Ray, you were there.
I was there. Great Monday morning. I was broadcasting, and I went down on the field waiting to do an interview right on the field with Jose.
Really?
On TV.
Probably a pretty good interview.
Jose, what are you going to do with the bag? Frank Sinchak went out to retrieve it.
Luke Croy, Carter, and Neuenhuis. So there's been a couple of important stolen bases in Oakland A's history. Done here in Milwaukee. We showed you Ricky Henderson last night. Those are at County Stadium. County Stadium was right next to this ballpark.
Just a little bit older.
A little bit older, yeah.
The Braves were here mid-60s. And then the Seattle Pilots are the Brewers basically in '69. And Bud Selig at the time was instrumental. He was a huge Braves fan. And whenever the Milwaukee Braves went to Atlanta, he was instrumental in getting the Brewers, known then as the Seattle Pilots, to come to Milwaukee.
That's right. Yeah, he acquired the Pilots and then brought them here.
Yeah.
So Seattle Pilots existed 1 year.
6 Stadium. Seattle 6 Stadium. Frank Howard was on the team. Jim Bouton threw his knuckleball. And it was a bandbox. Actually,
Left field. Coco's going to get over there into left center. He's got it.
I played there for the Portland team and also played against the Seattle Pilots whenever they were in the big leagues. Same park.
The Pilots.
But they weren't there long enough to build a new stadium. Of course, the Mariners eventually became part of expansion.
So that made 1970 the first year for the Brewers here in Milwaukee. And remember their first couple years, Ray, they were actually in the American League West.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then 1972 they moved to the East.
Now they've gone all over the place. American, National, West, East, Central.
1-0 to Chris Carter. Carter with a good swing. And you know, it was very unfortunate when they left, when the Milwaukee Braves left Milwaukee after the 1965 season, because really they had a lot of success here and the attendance was very good, but Major League Baseball wanted a team in the South. There was not a team in the South. And the Braves left for Atlanta. And that bothered a lot of people.
And Bob Uecker, who grew up in Milwaukee, played for the Braves, went to Atlanta, finished his career, came back and has broadcast in Milwaukee, the Brewers, since 1971. And there he is, the Hall of Famer. He's a beauty.
Carter swings and misses. Vogt puts the tag on him, and that's the second out.
You told me, I said, you know, we were, I do about 120 games. Good slider from Ryan Dull. So after last night, 2 home runs on fastballs. Big Chris Carter not seeing a lot of fastballs tonight from any of the pitchers. There he is. Must be the front row. That's the back row. $1 seats for the Uecker back row. He was asking about his time. Of course, you mentioned last night that Johnny Carson 100 times. He said he went on the first time, and Ed McMahon, he heard Johnny Carson say to McMahon, he said, "Did this guy ever play baseball?"
Yes, that's right.
He said, I fooled them, but they kept inviting me back. Actually, it was Al Hurt. Remember the trumpet? He was the one that got him on with Johnny Carson the first time. And 99 times later, I mean, Carson had to I mean, you'd watch him, and he just couldn't stop laughing the whole time that Euchre was on. And Euchre never broke a smile. I mean, he was just his dry humor.
This one's popped up left side of the diamond. Alonso makes the catch. Side retired. So Dull has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're through 5. It's the Brewers 4 and the A's nothing. California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. It's roundup time. Take the beach train to Santa Cruz or the Redwood Forest train to Bear Mountain. 4-0 Brewers lead, top of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits for the Athletics.
Now Jake Smolinski is going to hit for Ryan Dull, and Ryan Dull, a superb job once again, leaving a couple of runners on base and goes through the Brewers 1-2-3. And Type, you made a point in last night, tonight, or both nights about if a pitcher does something, it could change the outcome of a game. Well, look what Chase Anderson has done tonight. He got a hit, keep the 2nd inning going. There's the first out of a ground ball.
And the sacrifice bunt led to 2 runs.
Exactly. So just like you said. And I mean, he came in with no hits. I mean, hadn't driven in a run, hadn't done anything, but a successful night for him. And Jake Smolinski would try to come off the bench as he did last night. And I said today, I said, you know, you just missed that one last night. He said, I'm going to get it tonight. Well, here it is. We'll see. I don't know if he realizes that. Oh, yeah, I know he realizes that he's still looking for the first hit.
Anderson kicks and fired. Big curveballs outside. So the pitch count now at 81. Cannot get it, and that's going to be a base hit.
Isn't that a thing of beauty? Take this shift.
So that's the first hit of the game, and it was nothing more than a squibber right at the second baseman, except the shift was on.
Well, there's a start. It was a cue shot. Change up. Swung hard. Hit it off the end of the bat. Got tremendous spin on it, and Chris Carter, the only one on the right side, he couldn't get to it, and it just squirted into right field. And Daniel Coulomb is the lefty we just heard is loosening for the A's. Will be coming in to pitch.
And here's Coco Crisp. Aaron Hill again on the grass at 3rd, and then hit hard but foul.
We were talking last night, and it's Coulomb who is warming up. But you know, last night Davies into the 7th inning had a no-hitter, and tonight in the 6th inning for Chase Anderson. And you lose a no-hitter, on a shift. On a ground ball.
Irritating.
Yeah, it has to be. Sure, Chase Anderson didn't come into this game expecting to pitch a no-hitter. Pitch count's too high anyway, but still, you look up and you think, I just jammed the guy off the end of the bat. There's nobody there.
Because that was, yeah, that not only was there nobody there, but it was a jam shot.
Yeah.
So 0-2 to Coco Crisp, who is 0 for 2. He did reach on an error in the 4th. Pretty good 0-2 pitch by Chase Anderson. Let's see Coco go into a slump like he is in very often. He's 2 for his last 30. Takes that one. Another changeup. 2-2 the count.
Well, the Cubs are off to a great start. Kappa is reading today about Ben Zobrist, who at one time just recently, every time he swung the bat, he's getting a hit. He's 0 for 17.
Yeah.
And as of today, so it does happen. It's just a matter of you swing the bat well, everything is going great, but when you go into a little bit of slump, how quickly can you get out of it? Just like a winning and a losing streak.
Tapped over the mound. VR, did he get second base? He did, and that's a double play. Wow. Like he just caught the bag with maybe his right foot. He knew where the bag was, and he's able to turn the 6-3 double play. So nicely done by the Brewers shortstop, Jonathan VR. Check it out. So 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Hot dog, brat, Polish, chorizo, and Italian sausage.
Now is number 5, chorizo.
Chorizo.
And they're in an off stretch. Who can win this one? Hot dog back. They're out of it. It's going to be close at the tape, though. I think chorizo is fading. Yes. Bratwurst.
So Bratwurst is winning. Bratwurst is the winner. So, if you were worried about the sausage race, Bratwurst won tonight. When it's time for changing speedy oil change.
He's getting no hit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so was I. Your oil change tune-up and repair expert. So Daniel Colomb comes in. The left-hander. This is Hill, Flores, and then the pitcher spot. Bottom of the 6th, and Ryan Dull retires all 4 hitters that he faces with a couple of strikeouts. Hill tonight has reached on a fielder's choice and hit a fly ball to center field. So 8 hits for the Brewers, just 1 for the Athletics. Hit hard and fouled. Astros and the Rangers are tied 1-1. That game is already in the 7th inning. Curve rolled towards second. Lowry has it. That's the first out. So one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Make sure you tune in to NBC tomorrow as the Sharks and Penguins play Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. Then after the game, go to CSN California for Sharks Playoff Central. Don't miss a moment of the Sharks Stanley Cup journey. Penguins lead that series 3-1. So Sharks got a win to extend that series. Here's Ramon Flores. Slider from Coloming, first strike. Yankees pounding on the Angels 12-5. That game in the 8th inning at Yankee Stadium.
It's a sweep, isn't it? More for a sweep.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I think the Angels have had some troubles there. Yankees just a couple under 500 starting play today, I think. So
yeah,
they're trying to get back
30.
to that. Yeah.
I'll let you know when that one goes final. Nationals are leading the White Sox 7-0 interleague game. I give you that score because James Shields made the start tonight for Chicago after coming over in the trade, his first start, and it was not good. 2 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 runs, 3 home runs allowed in that game in Chicago. Over the mound and under the glove of Lowry, Flores has a base hit. So Ramon Flores has a sacrifice fly, a walk and a run scored, and now a base hit.
Straight up defense and right back up the middle. And
where's the shift when you need it, Ray?
Well, you're just going to shift everybody? Yeah, you normally do.
So here's the pitcher, Chase Anderson. He singled in the 2nd, sacrifice bunt in the 4th. First a bunt again, lunges for it.
Slide step quick pitch by Daniel Colombo. Still look at the 1-2 fastball that Chase Anderson got in his last at bat and put the sacrifice down. But the one thing that we see when National League pitchers face American League pitchers who rarely hit, but they rarely give them a fastball to even think about hitting. It's usually some sort of a curveball, changeup, slider.
And that one bounces out in front, and it allows the runner, Flores, to go to second base. Anderson, he did make the bunt attempt, and the ball was in the dirt. So Vogt blocked it, but it rolled back toward the pitcher's line. So that's a bad break for the A's. So now Anderson really does not have to bunt.
Actually, Steven had the ball in his glove and just kind of a highlight catapulted out towards the pitcher, but couldn't squeeze the catcher's mitt quickly enough to keep the ball in the glove.
So with the count 0-2, Anderson swinging away, and he swings and misses. So that's the first strikeout for Cologne.
And that's the pitch that should be thrown. I don't care if you're really a position player. Daniel Coulomb throwing a great curveball, and this is a pitcher trying to make contact. Ball bounced in front of home plate. Nice block by Stephen Vogt, but I mean, don't help the pitcher like they're in a fastball, and that's what they're looking for. So a good 12-6 curveball. Coulomb has shown in his time with the A's that he has an outstanding curveball.
So 2 away. Now you got to get Jonathan Villar. Villar has yet to be retired tonight. 2 singles and a walk.
I was thinking, if you come from the Los Angeles Dodgers organization, which Daniel Coulomb did, and you have currently probably the best pitcher in the game, or at least one of the top, Clayton Kershaw, and you also have a Hall of Famer, Sandy Koufax, you should have a pretty good curveball.
And your left hand.
And your left hand. But, you know, watching Coulomb, now this runner, and he goes to the slide step, but he has a little bit of Clayton Kershaw where he drops the ball behind his back and it's kind of straight leg, straight down. But
and he's right over the top.
Right over the top, too. And, you know, love to be in that category, but you can see a lot of similarities and kind of doesn't take his hands way up over his head. Kershaw does, but talking about one of the premier pitchers, of course, Bumgarner. When they go head to head, you're looking at two of the best in the games, National League in particular. But Coulombe has some of those similarities, especially Kershaw. See if he does it with the runner at second. Slide step.
He had a good pitch there. Hard, like a cutter maybe. 89 miles an hour.
And kind of a sneaky fastball. And you think about a curveball, and he has a good one. And VR might see it now with a couple of strikes.
Flores is the runner at second. And a high fastball, 91 miles an hour, and VR strikes out. So a runner stranded, and we're headed to the seventh now. Still 4-0 Milwaukee. California is brought to you locally by Energy Upgrade California. Energy tips, rebates, and financing options are available at energyupgradeca.org. 4-0 Brewers over the A's, top of the seventh. It's the Milwaukee River. Runs right through downtown. He's trying to find that offense. So Burns, Lowry, and Vogt. Good curveball from Anderson, and the count is 0-2.
That for Craig Counsell, the manager, and first of all, off the body somewhere of Lucroy, but from the manager standpoint, yeah, got him right above the glove on the left wrist. But you have your pitcher pitching into the seventh inning. It's exactly what a manager is hoping for, because that allows you to go to your setup and then closer.
It's sort of the, obviously 9 innings is wonderful, but it almost seems like 7 innings is kind of the magic number for a starting pitcher, because most teams have a good setup man, and most teams have a closer. Clayton Boyer starting to throw for Milwaukee. Here's Lowry. First pitch is lined to right, and that'll be a base hit. So a 1-out single for Jed Lowry.
Anderson feels better now, because that was a line drive.
That's true.
Like the Smolinski little bobble that went into right field. But Jay got his base hit, the first one, and Jed Lowry his first hit, and a fastball down and in. And Flores playing deep enough that he could not make a play like he did last night, diving for a ball.
So 91 pitches. Season high in pitches this year for Chase Anderson is 110. He's gone over 100 pitches 3 times in his first 11 starts. So here is Vogt. Fly ball to right. Gonna pop out to first. That's one high and fouled out left field. The Orioles beat the Royals 4-0. Those two teams genuinely do not like each other right now.
I understand Ventura was put on the trade block, huh?
Yeah.
Ventura.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I think the Royals are. You're always going to stick up for your teammate as long as you can, because that's what you're supposed to do. But I get the feeling that they're getting a little tired of sticking up for Yordan Ventura.
Well, and you know what happens, unfortunately? It's one thing that if everybody knows what's going on, but if somebody has an issue and they take it upon themselves to resolve that issue without anybody knowing, we go, what are we fighting for?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm out here and I don't even know.
Why are we here?
That's true.
And I thought the interesting comment from one of the players.
In the air, center, that's hit well. But getting back, there's Neuenhuis, and he's got
that whenever Machado charged him out, and he didn't just bolt out, he took a little stutter step. Like Salvador Perez said, I'll give you a few steps and then I'll come out after the fact.
Perez.
You know, because a catcher's job, anytime somebody leaves home plate, you stop it.
Sure.
And Salvador Perez can stop anybody he wants to.
Yep.
But it's like, hey, you know,
maybe it's time I let somebody go out there.
And he did, and he got some punches in.
So when it's time for Change Things Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. A very, very good performance by Chase Anderson tonight from Milwaukee.
And it is always good. Friday, June the 17th. Join us for baseball movie fireworks presented by Ray Morgan Company. After the game against the Angels, our famous fireworks show will be set to the music from classic baseball movies, including The Natural, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, and more. There's no better way to kick off summer than with A's baseball and fireworks. So visit athletics.com/fireworks today. You said Sandlot's going to be in there, Kite?
Yeah, music from Sandlot, which is good.
Okay.
Chase Anderson finished for the night. Good performance by him. 93 pitches. Just 2 hits allowed, no walks, 4 strikeouts. A no-hitter for 5 1/3. And here's Blaine Boyer. Very good ERA of 2.03. Not a lot of strikeouts, just 10 strikeouts in 26 innings as he faces Butler. The first pitch, 86 miles an hour, sneaks in their first drive.
A little slider first pitch, and what we've seen in this series is basically a catcher in Jonathan Lucroy is not afraid to call off-speed pitches. And it's almost like he figures the A's hitters, not knowing a lot of these pitchers are going to be sitting fastball, they're not getting a lot of them. And there's another slider, just like the first one. And Billy Butler swung over the pitch. Fastball, low 90s for Blaine Boyer. Curveball and a slider, but he's sinker slider pitcher primarily. So he's going slider. He's going to go fastball away after a couple of swings by Billy Butler on the sliders.
And a foul tip in and out of the glove of Luke. Rattled around a little bit. And for the Athletics in their bullpen, John Axford starts to throw, former Brewer. Lowry, short lead at first, and the pitch is just a little outside, not by much.
A little slider just ran off the plate. And we had heard the name Blaine Boyer a lot. Been around a while.
He sure has. A whole bunch of different teams.
Yeah. Most of the National League.
Good breaking ball there. Let's see. Atlanta, St. Louis, Arizona, the Mets, Hanshin, Japan, San Diego, Minnesota, and now Milwaukee.
Last year's where we saw him
That's right.
in Minnesota with the Twins. And you hear the name Boyer, you always think of the great Boyer family that played for the Cardinals.
Cleat
Boyer, Ken Boyer, the great third baseman. There's a picture of him, Cletus Boyer. Had all the baseball cards.
I bet you did.
Big Cardinal fan. And the Boyers, they were good. He, of course, with the Yankees for many years. Good
See,
friend.
I didn't know that there was a third brother.
Yeah. Oh, you always heard of Cleet and Ken.
Yeah.
But Kenny Boyer, a great third baseman, power hitter. I want to say Mike Shannon followed him. And probably a teammate of our broadcast partner over here, the great Bob Uecker, a friend who played for the '64 Cardinals at that time when the Boyers were there and before.
So 1-2 the count. He's just trying to string some hits together, but they've had a tough time doing that. That one's hit hard right to VR, who grabs it and will throw across in time. Side retired, very hard hit ball. Butler's hit the ball hard a couple times tonight, nothing to show for it. So a hit and a runner left, 7th inning stretch coming up, 4-0 Milwaukee.
BSN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
That's the Harley-Davidson Museum. Harley-Davidson, one of the major companies here in Milwaukee. Not to be outdone by the Miller Brewing Company, of course.
Yeah, you know, Bertie probably had that shot direct today.
First pitch from Cologne to Scooter Gennett.
Okay, I'm going to stand corrected. It was Cloyd Boyer.
Cloyd?
Cletus Boyer, you're right. And then Ken, but Cloyd Boyer.
Cleet, Ken, and Cloyd.
Right. Cletus was the real name of Cleet Boyer. Who coached for the A's, by the way, and Billy Martin. With the great Mickey. Ask Mickey Morabito about it.
Shooty Babbitt era?
Yeah. I want to say Ken Cleet was there at the time. With the Yankees, of course. Mickey probably made the best move when the great Billy Martin went back to New York. He said, "Let's go, Mickey." Mickey said, "Nope, stand right here in California."
Not today, Mr. Martin. Mickey Morabito, the director of team travel. Billy went back. Mickey stayed.
He's been there ever since. What, 81? Mickey was the bat boy for the Yankees in 1970, and we kind of talked about those years. And he started with the Yankees. He was there for many years.
Simeon, good range throws to get Scooter Gennett. A nice play by Marcus Simeon. And Bob Melvin skips out of the dugout with some big, powerful right-handed hitters coming up. Bob Melvin's going to want a right-handed pitcher on the mound. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Great weekend of baseball from June 17th to the 19th as Mike Trout, Albert Pujols of the Los Angeles Angels invade the Coliseum for an action-packed three-game series. Friday's game will feature post-game fireworks, while Sunday's contest is the perfect Father's Day gift for family time. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/tickets. Father's Day weekend, that'll be a special weekend. Coliseum, the Angels in town for the fireworks, and then Father's Day on Sunday. So those A's fans probably have a brat here and then head out to the Coliseum and get some food there and be ready to watch the Angels.
So here is John Exford. He'll face Ryan Braun. Exford got a nice round of applause when he was announced. Had some very good years as the closer for the Milwaukee Brewers. 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, all years when he was in the Brewers bullpen.
You get 46 saves in 1 year.
He did, yeah. That was 2011. He had a sensational year. A 1.95 ERA and 46 saves for the Brewers.
You think about 46 saves, and if your club wins 92, you got half of them. And I mean, that's a phenomenal season. And, you know, it's almost when he came into the game tonight, the PA announcer said now pitching for the A's, and was as if we know who he is. We don't have to mention his name.
Lowry to first in time. Braun is retired, so Ryan Braun is 0 for 4. So overall for John Axford in his seasons in Milwaukee, finished with 106 saves, second most in Brewers history. But the 2011 season, he was great, and the Brewers won the division that year.
That would have been
that was the
CC.
No, CC was 2008.
Okay, yeah, I thought because he's been the Yankees out.
Yeah, they won the wild card in
right.
2008.
That's right. That was the first time they had been. Yeah, that's right. CC's pitching every 3 days. Got him a huge contract with the Yankees because of it.
The Brewers have been to the postseason 4 times in their 47 years here in Milwaukee. 81, 82, 2008, and 2011. Axford a huge part of that 11 season. And really, he's probably still throwing as hard as he did then. Still got great velocity.
Still say that's what makes the A's, if they can get the lead, very unique, because they really have 3 closers that can close out a game in 7th, 8th, and 9th. Axford, Doolittle, and Madsen. And so really been in David Forrest in the offseason wanting to improve the bullpen. They did it. And these 3, of course, Daniel Coulon, who just pitched, Ryan Dull, who came up in September. So it's a better bullpen, but you have to score runs to get there. Yep. And right now, down 4-0 is not the optimum that you want for the back end of the bullpen to try to save a game.
2 pitch, fastball. This one lined into the seats. It's a final at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees beat the Angels 12-6. 12 runs and 17 hits for New York. So the Angels, with that loss, now 26-33. 0-2, and another foul ball. This one headed for the upper deck. Lucroy tonight is 0 for 3, so Braun and Lucroy are a combined 0 for 7. And still Brewers with 4 runs.
In that tonight, 3 runs batted in. Last night, Chris Carter night. Peter did not play last night, plays tonight, he's driven in 3. And I agree with you, that last one, I still don't see how he made contact. That probably would have been hit had he not swung the bat, but ended up driving in 2 big runs. And last night, a 2-0 game, then a 5-0 game. The A's made it 5-4 tonight. It was 2-0 and now 4-0. So uphill for the A's with just a couple more innings.
This one's popped up behind first. Tough play, and it's going to fall. So Lucroy stays alive.
Well, Billy Butler with his back to the infield chased after it, and Coghlan hustling in. Boy, that would have been a train wreck. Whew. Glad he kind of veered off to the side.
They're out.
It's got a no man's land in foul territory, fortunately, but you got guys running after the ball looking up, and that's the danger part about it.
Bounce it outside, and that one's hit to right center. That's hit well. Coughlin's back, and Coughlin has it. Side retired. So 8th inning coming up from Miller Park in Milwaukee. 4-0 Brewers. Bay Area fan, it's Sportsnet Central, brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30, and it's on CSN Bay Area. Complete Warriors Game 3 highlights. Warriors in Cleveland taking on the Cavaliers. Brody, Kevin Kurz, and Curtis Brown are going to give you a report from Pittsburgh on the Sharks as they try to battle back in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Kelly Johnson and Ed Faree will host. Roof is closed here at Miller Park on a cool night with the Brewers leading 4-0. So time is running out. He's got to get something going. Alonso, Simeon, Coughlin against Blaine Boyer. Boyer came in and got Butler. Final out in the 7th inning. Alonso tonight is grounded out, and he has popped to short.
Well, maybe the A's will play better outdoors. Maybe that's the key. Outdoors over the weekend.
There's no question they're going to play better outdoors.
And a lot of baseball remaining at the outdoor Coliseum in Oakland.
I mean, 3 straight in Houston, indoors, 2 here.
Just a different feel, isn't it?
I don't think you and I have been at our best announcing indoors.
Well, last night you were, because you brought some treats.
That's true. I brought some pastries, but
yeah,
not today.
And I missed the pastries today. She spoiled
Pastries are dangerous.
She spoiled a lot of people last night.
I know. I wanted to make everybody happy. VR way on the grass, straightens up, fires it, and they got it. What a play by Jonathan VR. He was about 3-4 steps onto the grass, and he had to load up and let it go, and he did.
And it's almost as if he said, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to get a 4-seam grip, and I'm going to let it go. And he did. And bang, bang. And that is a tremendous play. A little extra crow hop. And he got it. As Alonso was about a half a step short. Look at that. He looked at the ball. That's saying I got a strong arm. And he does. Stretch Chris Carter, but that's a great play by the shortstop.
So here's Marcus Simeon. Simeon got a breaking ball, a hanger. Just got a piece of it. Fly ball to left and a line out to left for Marcus Simeon. Another breaking ball, and this one's popped up to shallow center. One ice in. So it looks like Boyer, pretty clear he likes his slider, but it almost looks like he could just spin it in there for a strike.
And
somewhere
just,
around the strike zone.
And spin it, and that's a good call. Spin it and just basically put it near the strike zone. He's taken about 8 miles off of what normally would be his fastball. And you're going to see a lot of hitters with fly balls because they're reacting late.
So here's Coghlan. Coghlan a strikeout and a ground out. The A's have 2 hits in the game. Smolinski with a pinch hit single in the 6th. Lowry with a 1-out single in the 7th. Zabzinski and Doolittle both warming up.
And Chris Davis in the on-deck circle, which, as Bob Melvin said, he was out there last night, but it doesn't mean he was going to hit. We'll see tonight because this is the 8th inning, and whether he would hit or somebody would hit in this inning or next inning, pitcher spot would be coming up.
Backhanded, throw to first, got him, and that is VR again. So Jonathan VR putting on a pretty good show defensively in the top of the 8th. 4-0 Milwaukee. Local Toyota dealers. 0-2-0 for the A's. 4-9-1 for the Brewers. Jesse Hahn, not sharp, gave up 8 hits and 4 runs in 3 2/3 innings. And again, just a couple of hits tonight. Just 5 hits last night. 7 total hits in the series. Chase Anderson was very good. And 3 RBIs tonight for Scooter Gennett. So the A's have one more shot, trailing 4-0, bottom of the 8th inning.
Trying to avoid being shut out for the 2nd time this season. Last night a great comeback, 1 run short. Tonight 4 runs down again going into the 9th. I hope that's all it is at this point.
Axford got the final 2 outs in the 7th inning. 1-0 to Chris Carter. Single and a couple of strikeouts for Carter. He hits this one in the air, playable to right field. So Coghlan grabs it, 1 away.
And Bob Melvin quickly out to one of the left-handers. No double switches needed tonight for the skipper, just straight up, and relievers have done a tremendous job.
So it'll be Zabzinski coming in. Axford indeed retires all 3 hitters he faces. So 4-0, bottom of the 8th. We got a pitching change. We'll be back to Miller Park right after this.
The only two A's versus Giants games of 2016 at the Oakland Coliseum when the Cross Bay rivals square off June the 29th and 30th. The A's look to continue their winning ways against the Giants, having captured 2 of the last 3 season series. These interleague showdowns are always some of the most popular games of the year. So get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Oh, that's not that far away.
No,
29th and 30th.
3 weeks.
So 4-0 as Sebczynski comes in as he faces Kurt Neuenhuis. No record, 3.60 ERA for the A's left-hander Mark Sebczynski. Neuenhuis is 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run scored. Did you know that Kurt Neuenhuis and Stephen Vogt were college teammates together? Azusa Pacific for a couple years.
So I was wondering if Vogt actually was telling him what was coming.
Yeah, well, maybe.
No, I don't think so. Vogt wouldn't do that. He'd try his hardest to get him out. Had a little chat yesterday, and he did stand a game to face the lefty Sebczynski, and Sepp gets the big strikeout.
So 2 away here at the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, they stay with the breaking ball, and maybe Modi knew that his teammate couldn't hit lefties. And that was a flailing swing on a couple of pitches. And right now the Brewers leading 4-0, even though the strikeout for the lefty.
Sebczynski gets a swinging strike on Aaron Hill. Astros leading the Rangers 3-1. Astros got 2 in the 7th. To break the 1-1 tie. That game is going to the bottom of the 9th inning in Arlington. So Houston trying to beat the Rangers for the first time this year after losing the first 8 to them.
Well, we have said those are the 27 hardest out next to Fenway. So evidently the Astros feeling the same way.
Astros trying to break the Rangers' 5-game winning streak. And to slow them down. Mariners and the Indians are underway. No score in the 3rd inning. In Seattle. So 3-1 the count to Hill, who is 0 for 3. In the 9th inning, the A's will have the pitcher's spot. Crisp and Burns. That is Will Smith, a left-hander. The only left-hander they have. In the air, right center, hanging up. So Burns has time to get back there. Side retired. So a quiet inning for the Brewers. 9th inning. This is the last shot for the A's as the Brewers are leading 4-0. CSNCalifornia.com. Log on each week as our A's insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. This week's Joe's guest is Rich Hill. A's Insider Podcast with Joe Stiglitz. It's on CSNCalifornia.com, also available on iTunes. So 4-0, it's the top of the 9th inning. And the Brewers bring on Will Smith. So Will Smith comes on. He just come off the disabled list. You see the knee brace he has on his right knee, and that was the injury. He had a sprained right knee. So the Brewers are thrilled to have this guy back because he's pretty good. Just came back last week. And he's been a good reliever for the Brewers for the last couple years.
Well, the A's saw the Astros, only one lefty there, Tony Sitt, who pitched all 3 games against the A's over the weekend. Well, Smith, the only lefty, and the way he throws, no doubt he was missed.
Tyler Ladendorf hitting in the pitcher spot. 1-1 the count. That's a nasty slider. To give you an idea about Will Smith, last year in 63 innings, he struck out 91. He was 7-2 with a 2.70 ERA. Very good stuff.
So wearing number 13 is not superstitious.
No, he's not worried about that. He was with the Kansas City Royals. The Royals traded him to the Brewers for Nori Aoki. It was after the 2013 season. And Ladendorf swings and misses. So that's the good stuff from Will Smith.
Another good breaking ball. The only thing for Smith is that the great bullpen of the Royals and missed out on the American League Championship and a World Championship. But with the Brewers and pitching well, Chris Davis was the on-deck circle, but Bob Melvin opted not to use him. Gives them the extra day tomorrow. I hope to see him over the weekend in Cincinnati.
First pitch swinging, Coco Crisp. It's a high pop-up, shallow right. Flores waits, and that is the second out here in the 9th inning. So the A's just struggling tonight, and as it is in a game like this, not a lot of hard hit balls, but the ones that were hard hit generally right at somebody. Had Lowry lining out in the first, Butler lining out in the second, Simeon lining out in the 5th. And that is fair. Shoots it right past Chris Carter. So Billy Burns will round first. He'll hustle into second, and he's going to have a sliding double. Burns gets his first hit. The A's get their 3rd.
Well, he just slapped it late, got the fastball and went with it to right field. And for the A's tonight, that's their first runner in scoring position all night. So batting average with runners in scoring position right now up to this point is 0 for 0 because they've just not had any opportunities. So single by Lowry with 1 out of the 7th, and the hit by Smolinski. Pinch hitting with 1 out, and then turned into a double play.
So the A's, at least at this point right now, try to spoil the shutout. Lowry has 1 of the 3 hits. 1 out single in the 7th inning. This one's driven toward right center. Flores on the move. He'll get there. And that's the ball game. So that was a hard hit ball by Lowry, but the A's trip to Milwaukee, not a good one, as they are swept in this 2-game series, and tonight they are shut out for the second time this season. So A's will have another off day tomorrow and get ready for the Cincinnati Reds over the weekend in Cincinnati. So time of game was 2 hours and 44 minutes in front of 18,189, and the A's now have lost 5 in a row. Brewers shut out the Athletics tonight. Final score 4-0. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's post-game live with Mindy Bach and Carney Lansford starts right now.